Hello and welcome to third installation of my tutorial series about using different styles of backdrops and lighting for your headshots, for your corporate headshots, actors, and so forth. Social media, LinkedIn, you name it, it all applies, although the biggest demand is going to be for the corporate market. All right, so as you can see, we have a gray backdrop behind me. And this gray was painted to duplicate the neutral gray that's on gray cards to set your white balance. So it is a perfect gray. I'm very particular about making sure that I've got the right hues, the right colors, and so forth. So that's what we've got here. So neutral gray, it took a little bit for me to warm up to it. And the more I use it, the more I see it on websites, the better I understand why it's such a go-to, possibly even more so than high key, although high key has its place. If you've got a very light and airy backdrop for your website, and especially it does tend to go with medicine, then white's really good for that. But if you're doing anything else, gray does seem to be the industry standard. So gray isn't always gray. If you recall, I went ahead and mixed some paint to get this exact hue. So that is something that you have to be cautious of, is what kind of gray are we talking about? Are we talking about a nylon, somewhat shiny pop-up backdrop that's not really gray? Are we talking about a white backdrop that some people will say, oh, just back the lights far enough away from the backdrop and it'll turn into gray? Sort of. If you're looking for consistency for the photos that you're producing, especially for a larger number of people, they need to be on brand and they need to look like they came from the same organization. So the gray that you use is actually quite important, which is why I was so particular about making sure that this is the one I got. And it operates the same way. It is possible to use it without the two lights on the side. When I have them, I prefer to use them. I believe that it gives the extra depth. So there's one here and there's one here, and it does create a sort of a three-dimensionality to the shoulders, and it makes people look more alive. It makes them look more real. And not flat. And flat is something that you don't want in your photograph. You don't want someone to just look like they just had a book squash them flat and there's no person there anymore. Just, oh, shape of a person, no depth. You want depth here. With gray, it's not so much something that I worry about as compared to the low key, because the low key is very sensitive because there's so little light coming from anywhere. But being that we've got gray back there, some of that gray is reflecting back to my shoulders. So I do get some, I am lit up a little bit by that. So yeah, I hope this video has been helpful and informative, giving you kind of the three pinnacles of high key, low key, and neutral gray. I'll throw some other things in there at a later time that are less staples for the industries. But these are the staples. These are the things that really a person must be prepared to do these, because these are high demand styles. So go ahead and see the rest of my portfolio on charlesturcott.com and reach out to me. You may think that your organization is too big, too small, but we'll work with you. I've been making the negotiation process comfortable for a very long time, so I can I can sympathize with your needs and make sure that what we do is lightweight, quick, and gets you what you need, whether that's on site because I've got a portable kit, or if you want to send your people here in studio, we'll get that going for you either way. So thank you for tuning in, and look forward to the rest of the videos coming up. I plan to have a variety of interviews where I will be giving people their professional headshots to use for work. But in the process of that, I'm going to have a dialogue with them, because making sure that people are not too tense. You don't want this look. You don't want the "don't talk to me" look. Is that the image that you want to send out on your website? It's hilarious. The thing that works is it's like the people in Hollywood. They have a big laugh, and then they can come down to earth and say, "All right, I had a good time." Because that's what you want to be. You want to be approachable, inviting, competent, and all of that can come through in the image. So people are very sensitive to reading the emotions in a person's face. We evolved that way for our very survival. So when you are no longer taking head-to-toe photos where the detail in a face is harder to see, and you've got this close-up coming in here, anything that seems a little off, if the person seems like they're not paying attention, if they're not friendly, whatever it might be, I'll coach you to make sure that we have the most approachable possible shot for you, so that this image that you have helps your business thrive and represents you well and accurately. So thanks again for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you in the future.